All right, so now let's look at example 4. Now, example 4 is no longer an expression. It's actually an equation because I have a y equals. And it's asking me also to find the root. So I'm actually going to have to solve this one. We're going to first complete the square. So my first step is to look and say, hey, is this written in standard form? X squared minus 8x plus 14. And yes, it is. So I'm going to start by taking my b, which is negative 8. I'm going to take half of it, and I'm going to square it. Now, negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. Now, a lot of people want to jump to the shortcut method, and they want to put, oh, minus the 4, plus the 4, I'm done. Okay, but you have to be careful. This second step is really important. I'm going to put parentheses x squared minus 8x. So your first two terms stay the same, plus a blank. In my parentheses, keep my original C term plus 14 and then minus a blank. All right. Now I'm going to put that number of 16 that I found in each of my blanks. And this still equals y. All right. Now that I have set up my equation, I can do the shortcut. So I'm going to factor this. And if I were to factor this, this would become, since it's a perfect square trinomial, x. The number inside my parentheses is negative 4, or what's half of negative 8. All right. And then I'm going to add or subtract my two numbers. So 14 minus 16 is negative 2. So I've just converted from standard form to vertex. Now I'm going to solve, and I'm going to plug 0 in for y and solve by the square root method. Now I like to switch my sides and put the 0 on the right so that I can start solving. All right, so first step is I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I'm left with x minus 4 squared equals a positive 2. Okay. Now that I've isolated this square, I'm going to do the opposite of squaring, which is the square root. All right. Let's come up here. So on the left-hand side, the square root and the square cancel. So I'm left with x minus 4. And on the right side, I'm actually left with plus or minus the square root of a positive 2. Okay. We cannot simplify the square root of 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two equations. X minus 4 equals a positive square root of 2, and x minus 4 equals a negative square root of 2. Okay, and I'm going to solve these individually. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides on one of them. So I'm left with x on the left, a positive 4, okay, plus the square root of 2 is my first root solution. For my second one, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get x equals a positive 4 minus square root of 2. So here are my roots, 4 plus square root of 2, and x equals 4 minus square root of 2. And again, these can be called zeros, solutions. All right. To change them to x-intercepts, we want to plug them into the calculator and get the decimals. So I've already done that. So your decimals are going to be 5.410 for one of my solutions and 2.590